Most info business, they're struggling without even knowing it. They could make a lot more money, collect a lot more payment terms, but they don't know why. You have endless administration. If you have an info business, you don't want to be busy with admin. You need to automate that. Your delivery sucks. Your clients are not happy. You don't get any referrals based off your clients. Most importantly, you have a lot of lost leads. The setter and closer are not working together optimal. You have no idea which leads are warm, no idea which are cold. You don't follow up at the right time. That's costing you a lot of money. So like I said, missed payment terms, lost leads, confused clients, and endless out. Don't want this, and I'm going to show you how you can solve it with very easy systems. Okay, you need a few systems. The three most important ones, not the only ones, the most important ones, are sales, finance, and delivery. Bring those systems together, you have a very scalable system. I'm going to show you what your finance system should look like. For example, you close a client at 5K in 5 terms. So every month it needs to pay $1,000. The first deposit is collected, of course. The second installment is almost collected. The third installment has failed. You don't even notice it because you're busy with administration. You don't get notifications when the payment failed. You don't know when it actually needs to be collected. So the third payment failed. A few weeks later, you find this out. After the fourth installment also failed. Fifth installment failed. You don't get any response from your client. He's gone. You lost 3K on a 5K deal. Now this is with one client. Imagine if you have 20. You could lose 60K in a month without even noticing it. So I hear you thinking already, yeah, I've got a great product and my product, that's my backend. But watch, you need to be ahead of this. You don't want to find out later. You need to be ahead of it. You need to have a clear overview of your finance. No messy sheets. It's not how you should have a business. This doesn't make any sense and you know it. So I'm going to show you how you can get from a messy sheet with no overview to a clear financial dashboard. Most important things. You have the total installments. You have the paid installments. You have open installments and the percentage that hasn't been collected yet. Most importantly, most people don't even notice the payments that are overdue. Look, if you are bringing in 2 million a year, 70K in payments overdue, that's just reasonable. That's just normal. But you need to register it. You need to know it and you need to be ahead of it. So, of course, we visualize this data. How many percent of the payments are still open? Just a small fraction. Of course, we want it to be 0. Which payments still need to be collected? You need to have a finance guy if you're scaling your business who just makes sure every gray part in this bar needs to be green. So that means everything is collected. Second, the late payments. You need to have a clear overview. The status on the lead. You have no contact with the lead or the lead is on hold. The lead needs to extend this payment. Which payments in which month? You can click, of course, every payment. You get more information. You need to reach out to the lead as much as possible. This is just a basic finance sheet, but this is going to save you so much money. A basic dashboard, visualize the data and everything you need. You need to have your sales also perfect. You have a ton of leads who get lost. No follow-ups at the right moment. You don't know the key data points. You or your sales manager is not able to improve because he has no tracking. He don't know what's going on. That's just costing you. You need to train your sales team every day. Every week you need to improve. Because if you want to make more revenue, more leads isn't always the answer. You could also improve your sales. So you have more revenue with the same amount of leads. So that's better, of course. What do you need? The 3 basic things. You need a clear pipeline. You need a data overview. And you need to have closing data. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is just a basic demonstration pipeline. So every lead is at the right status. You have a no-show, a deal, long-term follow-up, lost, cancel, confirmed, not confirmed. Every lead has his own card. You can click on it. You can see everything. You can see his number, his email, the last moment you had a contact with him, the setter, the conversation with the setter notes, what source he is, what funnel he's from. Everything you need, you can put it in his thing. His qualification, most importantly, his calendar questions, type from questions, everything you need is in the pipeline. You have a clear overview. Okay, what is going on? Long-term follow-up. Okay, let me see what did I discuss later on. After the call is done, we have always a automated summary of the call. We put it straight back into the system. So everybody on the team knows what is going on with this call. Maybe the setter needs to go over him again. The closer needs to remind him of some things. What is the pain? Everything you need will be summarized and put in the system. That's just the pipeline. Second of all, you have closer data. We have, of course, the total team overview. You can filter, of course, by day, month, data range, week, everything by quarter, actually. This is a complete team overview. The AOV per call, the average deal value, the show up, the cancel order value, and cash collected. Most important things. Second, of course, if you have a sales manager, you need to know, the sales manager needs to know which closes are performing well, which are underperforming, which are doing the best. Closers who are doing better needs to get more leads. Of course, makes sense. It's just a competition. The more closers they have, they need to fight for the leads. But how can they earn the leads if they have the right data? And it really shocks me how many info businesses don't even know what your show up is over the last 3 weeks. They don't know because they don't have it. They're just guessing. You can't scale a team or a company based on guesswork. You need to have data, track it. So of course, we have the most important key metrics, and then we have charge, the conversion, the cancel percentage, the show up rate. Okay, we can see right here, we have a small dip over here. What happened? Okay, sales manager adjusted, back up. Little lower again, but then we continue to grow. The AOV per deal, the average deal value, and the AOV per call, really important. Let's say, for example, this sales team has €1,000 AOV per call, and they want to bring in 100K. Then the setting needs to plan at least 100 calls. That's just something you know. You can guide your team based on data, based on statistics. The more data you have, the clearer goals you can set, the better revenue you can get. So with clear data, you're not guessing anymore. You know where you are losing and you know where to improve. That's really important. Where to improve and where you are losing. So let's hop over to delivery. Also, you and your closers, they're busy with manual follow-ups on payments. They're manually onboarding clients and they manually need to make a contract. You don't want that. There's a very simple solution for that. Email flows. Email flows and automations. Let's start with the manual follow-ups on payments. As soon as the client is closed, the closer registers the client, he writes in what package he is, the deal value and the payment terms. That's just all the closer does. Based on that information, there goes out an automatic contract. So the closer has a close, register, and then done. So the closer has a close, he registers the lead, and he is done. What happens when he registers the lead? First of all, an automated, personalized contract will be sent out. So the more personalized the contracts are, the better you are covered legally, and the better it will connect with your email flow and the payments. I will go ahead and go over it in a second. So the closer registers it, everything goes well in the finance sheet, and the contract will be sent and personalized. Once the client signs the contract, he will be onboarded manually. He will get a few emails, a welcome email. He will be added to the course, and also he would just be registered as a client. The faster the client gets onboarded, as soon as he's done his payment, he gets out the contract, he signs it, he gets everything he needs to get started straight away. That's just the best thing you want. If you have a client who's paid a lot of money, some clients are scared to start. If you get the whole delivery perfected, everything goes smoothly, the client thinks, okay, I'm on the right place. His whole experience will go up. And if you have happy clients, you get a lot more referrals because they tell each other about it. They're gonna tell their little friends about it. You have more referrals, so again, more revenue. Everything translates what I'm showing you here to more revenue. Lastly, maybe the most important thing, manual follow-ups on payments. Doesn't work at all. You need to have at least 7 emails. Like I said before, once the closer registers the client, it will go automatic in the finance sheet. First email is around 10 days before the payment is due. Then 3 days, 1 day, and on the day itself. If he hasn't paid yet, the day after that, another day after that, and another day after that. You gotta write 7, 8 emails. Don't really matter. You need to start off friendly and you need to build up the pressure. You need to pressure him more so he's gonna pay. You sign the contract. You need to show the lead you're a professional organization. Show your client you're a professional organization. He cannot fuck with me. The whole client experience is beautiful and everything is just smoothly, not just some amateuristic bullshit. These are just some systems. These are the three most important systems. We have finance, sales, and the delivery. Of course, we have the coaching. We can go on deeper onto the finance, but this is just, if you're starting out on your info business, this is minimum you need. Minimum. You can disregard it. You can set up some bullshit CRM at Monday. I don't care, but this is what you need. I've seen it. I've scaled businesses, help them without more input. Cash collected will be higher, the revenue will be higher, the client experience will be higher. We get one client who has this a whole new revenue stream on upsells and referrals because the client experience is so nice. With just a little tweaks, little automations, and everything works better. Everything smooth. You just have an organization instead of some course and sales process. So yeah, that's basically everything you need. So if you want something to know, you should check out my Insta. We'll put it in the bio. You can ask me anything. I will help you. I don't really care. I like this. I like making things. So just shoot me a message if you want to know something, and then I can help you where you can go from.